I'll just switch off my camera. Yep. Okay.
Okay. So hi there, my name is Carmen from Switch On Health and welcome to tonight's free webinar from Zomeo software. So if you're watching this live, please do stick around for comments and questions at the end. And we're excited to announce that there will be a draw for $50 credit from us here at Switch On Health for one lucky attendee to put towards your study. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're welcome to pop any questions you may have into the comments box below, and we promise to get back to you. Also, if you're watching on YouTube and you like what we do, please click on the subscribe button, because the more subscribers we have, the more we can offer, and we look forward to offering you more. So tonight, I'm very happy to be joined by Gordon Rodrigues and Dr. Neha from Zomeo Software. So Gordon is the Global Head of Sales and Training. So tonight, they're going to present a couple of presentations for us, outlining the advantages and benefits and features of the Zomeo homeopathy software, and I believe that they'll be giving us a little bit of a demonstration of the software as well. So I will hand it over to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you so much for the introduction. That was quite warm. All right, friends. So let us start this presentation. We've got a wonderful presentation compiled together. First with the introduction, and then we'll have the demonstration by Dr. Neha. Stay tuned and all the best. Thank you. All right, Altamash.
Hello, welcome. A very good morning, good afternoon, and to some of you, a very good evening. So friends, we're going to start this presentation with a small story. This story is about a marathon runner from India. So this marathon runner, apparently, he was the winner in this country for the last 15 years. And he never came second. He always used to win his races. And one fine day, he faced defeat. There was a new runner who started defeating this guy in all the races throughout the year. So he got a little agitated. He got a little jealous. He got a little angry. So what he did was he walked up to the sports committee of our country, and he told the president of the sports committee, he said, you know what, I find this is something really unusual. I've been winning all these years. There cannot be anyone who can beat me. How is this that, this little runner who's just 21 years old, he can defeat me in all the races? I'm sure there's some glitch to this. Probably he's taking some extra steroids or something. You got to get this checked. How does he have so much of stamina? So the president from the sports committee tells him that, why don't you walk up to this runner and ask him, what is it that he does different? So he says, oh, why will I do that? I'm such a senior runner. I'm not going to go to somebody who's just an amateur or who's just been running for the last 1 or 1.5 years and ask him, what does he do different? But then he says, okay, fine, let me just walk up to him and ask him. So he goes to this junior runner and he says, young man, what is it that you do different? What is it that you do so special? What have you been doing that you've been defeating me, in all the races throughout this year? So friends, the junior runner, as humble as he was, he looked up at the senior runner and he says, sir, you have been my guru. I have always watched your videos every single morning before I practice to sharpen my skills. And that's all that I've done over these years. And after every race that I won, I made sure that the next morning, to sharpen my skills, I kept watching your video after every race that I won. And the senior runner just looked up at him, gave him a hug, and said, all the best for your future. So my dear friends, the moral of this wonderful story for us is, no matter how senior we are, no matter how experienced we are, it is always good and beneficial for us to sharpen our axes. Now, here's what I know about you. Each and every one of you present here wants to make an impact in life. Now, let me tell you something. You could have probably been sleeping, or probably writing some assessment, or probably treating a patient, or doing something else. But you chose to be here at this moment. And this deserves an acknowledgement. I know at times it's difficult to show up. And that's why I'm so proud of each and every one of you that's present here. And I'm going to focus on the opportunities that lies ahead of you with all your skills and your talents, that you can make a difference. All right, friends, this brings me to my subject for the day. Our subject today is Hompath Zomeo. The aims of this presentation is to prove why Zomeo is the world's best software. Stay tuned. And we've got a very nice motive here. Our motive is to provide it to talented and amazing homeopaths, precisely the ones who are watching this presentation. Thank you. So I think you can give yourselves a round of applause, because you are the chosen ones. So I'll clap for you, and let's start on a very, very positive note. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in today's day and age, there's this market rule. Things have changed. There has been evolution. There has been a change in homeopathy. There has been a change in the way people practice. So there's a very wonderful phrase here. It says that it is not the strongest that survive. It is not the most intelligent that survive, but it is the one that is most adaptable to change that survives. So it is up to you. If you're the strongest, if you're very intelligent, I guess we should all be open to learning and adapt to change. As Dr. Jawahar Shah, he rightly says, a day without learning is a day wasted. Absolutely, isn't it? And the only wrong move in using a software is by not using a software. So today, my dear friends, we're going to look at some reasons of why do we need to use a software. And then we look at which software to use. That decision, I'll leave it up to you. I won't tell you what software to use. You're going to take that choice and make a decision. Moving forward, when you talk about a software, we all have this question in our head. We ask ourselves this question. Number one, do I need a software? What is the reason? Why do I need a software? Number two, how important a homeopathy software is in today's world. Now, I've been a homeopath for probably 20 years, 22 years. I've been successfully treating patients. Do I actually need one now at this stage in my career? Okay, if I do, which software do I buy? There are so many softwares available in the market. Which is the right one for me? And finally, if I make up my mind to choose a particular software, it all boils down to the cost, doesn't it? How much do I pay for this software? Okay, so my friends, in this presentation, we're going to look at some great benefits, and we're going to look at one of the world's best software, and then I leave it up to you to take a decision on which software you want to use. So without further ado, let me introduce to you the world's best software. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Zomeo. Zomeo. I've got a small abbreviation here for Zomeo as a software. The Z in the Zomeo, it stands for Zabardast. In Hindi, this means awesome. Zomeo as a software, my friends, will showcase its awesomeness to you once you start using it. Moving on, the O in the Zomeo stands for outstanding. M is it's a majestic software. Now, this is one of my favorites. That's the E in the Zomeo. What is the E? It is easy to use. How often we do this? We buy a software, probably in the month of January, and we've not touched it until May, or probably until December in the same year. Why? It's because we don't know how to use it, or probably in spite of a couple of trainings, we've not learned the art of using it, or probably it's not very user-friendly. So this is what makes Zomeo so unique and so very distinct. And finally, the O in the Zomeo is it's an optimal software, most favorable in the world today. Now you'll ask me this question. You will say, Gordon, why do I choose Zomeo? What is in it for me? It might be useful for the homeopaths that you've sold to until now, but what is in it for me? Here it is. What's in it for me? This is the question which you might have in your head. How do I benefit? I've got a successful practice. So how do I benefit once I start using Zomeo as a software? Now, how will my patients benefit? I'm a very patient-centric homeopath. That's what you'd be thinking. I want my patients to be happy. Will Zomeo help me? And will it benefit my patients? Will it save time? Nowadays, we're very busy, watching webinars, treating patients, doing so much in life. Will it save time for me? And how will this take my practice to one level higher? That's the question which we're going to look at in today's presentation, my friends. Now, Zomeo as a software has this abbreviation called FAB, F-A-B. I asked this question once in a forum, what is FAB? What is F-A-B? One of the representatives said, Gordon, is it food and beverages? I said, no, it's not food and beverages. Pertaining to Zomeo, F&B is features, advantages, and benefits of this software. I've listed down a few amazing features about Zomeo. Have a look at them. So Zomeo as a software, my dear friends, it has 42 repertories. Whoa, that's a lot. 42 repertories, including one of the best in the business. That's Complete Repertory 2020 by Roger Van Zervoort. It's got repertories like Kent, Boger, Borig, Ponnehusen, wow, and great repertories like Nur repertory as well. You can also add some repertories to it like Jeremy Sher's Q-Rep on mental qualities. Now, this is the hot cake of the repertories in Zomeo. That's my next point. It has got COVID-19 repertory. A lot of homeopaths have been overwhelmed by using this particular repertory. We all know what an impact COVID-19 has created in everyone's lives throughout the world. Now, the answer to that over here in this software is the COVID-19 repertory. You can use it to repertorize, and it gives you, we've seen COVID evolve. So many remedies over the months, over the years that we've changed. Here in the COVID-19 repertory, you will know which is the right remedy to be given to your patients who've got different symptoms. Now, this has complete information of 3,400 homeopathy remedies, 16 journal variants with 8,700 articles, 3,251 remedy properties with 803 remedy relations, 636 clinical tips verified in thousands of cases. Wow, these are amazing numbers. These are huge numbers that you would have in your software. Once you purchase it, you're going to own all of these. Okay, and not to forget, ladies and gentlemen, Zomeo has this wonderful expert system. That's the Acute Expert System by Dr. Praful Vijayakar. A lot of people love his style of practice, due to which they buy this software. It is one of the highlights in the software. Now, just to share something about me, I'm a huge pet lover. So the next point is something that catches a lot of pet lover homeopaths. It catches their eye. It has got a veterinary module with the veterinary repertory included in it with 17 books. I'm not saying you start full-time veterinary practice, but you can start within your family, within your friends, within your neighbors, and you'll always get that feel-good factor as well. You could also use it as a self-learning module for you, isn't it? There are so many books that you can read about as well. 615 patient instructions for 70-plus disease, 133 materia medica books. Wow, this is amazing. Look at these numbers. All this will be with you once you have Zomeo. Now, there are some things which you could also add. That's the Perfect Repertory of Mind by Dr. Yogesh Sehgal. We all know what importance mind chapter is in homeopathy, don't we? To know more, you could always ask for a demo and we could elaborate, on how the software works, right? It has also got 1,250 homeopathy books. This is unmatched stuff. No software in the world today gives you 1,250 homeopathy books. Amazing. 8,000 cured cases from well-experienced doctors. Even if you use one case for your reference out of these 8,000 cases that are listed, trust me, you'll get that feel-good factor. And these are cases by stalwart homeopaths in India, that we've included in these 8,000. And go through to them. It'll help you in your, bad times or when you're solving a difficult case. 1,561 keynotes of homeopathy remedies. Now, to a lot of people across the globe, if you're not comfortable with English, stay tuned. We've got Zomeo available in Spanish, German, Portuguese, and French as well. So friends, these are the wonderful features that we have for Zomeo. This is a homeopathy buffet. Wow. Please grab it. Grab onto this. If I was a homeopath, I'd probably want to own something like this now. Now moving on to the advantages and benefits of using this particular software. Just think about it. The first point about it says that it is 100% accurate. We want something that gives us accurate information. And Zomeo as a software helps you to give your client the right remedy. You give your client the right remedy, you've got happy customers. You've got happy customers, you go to the next level. That is what Zomeo does. It creates an impact in your life in a good way. Now, there's this wonderful phrase. We've been using it for donkey's years, I'd say. All that you need in homeo, which means in homeopathy, you get it in Zomeo. I call Zomeo a homeopathy buffet. I mean, you get everything that you need in homeopathy, all right? Now, it is a software beyond homeopathy. So it is not just a software which will help you to repertorize. No, not at all. It gives you beyond homeopathy. In my next slide, I'm going to explain how Zomeo as a software will make your life easy, and you'll start to love this particular software. Today we've all come to this point where we're so busy in our lives. We're so busy, we don't have this four-letter word, and it's right in front of you on my next point, and that's time. It saves you a lot of time that you'd probably, if you were not using a software, right, you'd probably spend maybe an hour or hour and a half on a case. How is it if you could solve a particular case within maybe 10 minutes or 12 minutes? Well, that's wonderful. With 100% accuracy as well. That's really amazing. And yes, it's budget friendly too. I've got this phrase that I use to everybody. It brings a smile on your face and definitely a lot of savings in your pocket. So stay tuned to know how you're going to get these savings in your pocket. One more time, extremely user-friendly. Look, we want something. We are not computer engineers, are we? We're talented and amazing homeopaths, right? As a homeopath, your homeopathy knowledge may be immense. You may know a lot in homeopathy, but not necessary that you are a 10 on 10 with computers. So when you buy a software, you need to make a decision that you take a software which is extremely user-friendly. When you switch it on, you're not using your brains or your mind to actually figure out how to use it, but you're using your mind to understand on how effectively to use it. Because Zomeo is extremely user-friendly. Just think about this. You can get remedies on a click of a button. What more can you ask for? It has got the best patient management system. It is very systematic, very well categorized, and you probably may have a patient who visited you in 2014, and he's now visiting you in 2021. You'll have all his information right on a click of a button. This is amazing. This will help you to maintain, a relationship with your clients. Your clients feel happy when you remember their name, when you remember things about them. Zomeo is going to help you remember all these things because it's going to be right there in front of you. Okay. And it has got various ways to repertorize. It's not stereotyped that it's my way or the highway. You can only repertorize, probably in one style. No, it has got a classical way to repertorize. Some of you may get a lot of patients and you probably want a quick way to repertorize. So we've got the quick case recorder as well. And, whatever repertorization method that you use, at times for one particular problem, you may get 300 or probably 500 remedies. Now you're confused. What do I do? Person has got arthritis, blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, oh my God, thyroid as well. So many problems. Which remedy do I give? My friends, do not worry, do not fear. When Zomeo is here, we have got various filter options. And by using this filter option, it can reduce and filter the remedies from 300 to 5, 4, 3, 2, or probably even one remedy. That is why I call Zomeo 100% accurate, and it maintains a very high accuracy rate. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking out for a software which you want to use in your daily practice, which is easy to use, the answer to that question is Zomeo. Moving on, Zomeo has a lot of add-on benefits in this. That is what I talk about. You know, in my last slide, I said that it is beyond. And the third point, if you look here, it says that it is a software beyond homeopathy. So now I'm going to showcase the points which are add-ons that you have in Zomeo. The first point, diet and nutrition tips. You know, today you have all your patients, or probably 70-80% of your patients who talk to you about, they say, doctor, what do I eat? What is the best food for me? Any diet tip, any nutrition tips? And at times, you know, we give a very diplomatic answer. We say, eat healthy, eat what you feel is right. So your patients may expect more from you. I'm not telling you to give them probably a diet chart or a list or a chart about it, but what I'm probably saying here is you can share maybe 2 or 3 pointers with them. They will also feel happy. You know, they'll always remember you for this point. They'll say, you know what, when I go to this particular homeopath, he always, apart from treating me, gives me these extra little pointers, some diet tips, some nutrition tips. Wow, that has helped me probably lose weight. He will also recommend you to his friends, to his family, and spread the good word to probably everybody. So this is a very, very, very crucial benefit what Zomeo has to offer. Number 2, the second point here, it is only Zomeo that offers this particular point, and that is the potency selector. Now, you've got softwares that tells you which remedy to give your client. But Zomeo, apart from telling you which remedy to give your client, it also helps you decide the dosage to give your client. You know, at times you give an overdose, you give a high dosage and it leads to an overdose to a person. At times your dosage is too low and it takes a very long time for the patient to recover, and probably he doesn't want to come to you the next time because he did not see any results. So getting the right potency would really help you to get more clients and to get accurate results. Unlimited patient data storage. My friends, you know, your patient data can be all over the place at times. You've at times stored it in a Word file, in an Excel sheet, you've written it in a book, and then probably you can maintain such a record maybe for a day, for a week, for a month, maybe a fortnight, maybe 6 months, maybe a year. What if you've been practicing for, you know, ages? What if you've planned to practice for the next 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, 10 years? You never know. Here, we are giving you a tool where you can maintain your patient data very systematically. You just put the patient's name, or probably his date of birth, or some vital information about him, and you'll get all his details listed right in front of you. We've also got this wonderful option called Smart Search option, which is used by a lot of homeopaths. Now, let me tell you something. You can buy a software, and you know, a lot of times marketing and sales companies, once they sell a product to you, their journey ends there. Let me just clarify this dark cloud in front of you. When we sell Zomeo to you, or when you purchase Zomeo from us, our journey doesn't end. It is a new beginning for a relationship from both of us, okay? Because we give you lifetime support. Look, it's a software. You'll need somebody, you know, with you to probably learn this software. We help you with the installation of the software. You know, it's probably done on any desk or on a Zoom call. We've got our executives that will call you at your convenience and install the software for you, number 1. Number 2, we give you training by qualified homeopaths. These are homeopaths who've been treating patients for, you know, more than 10 years. So they will spend nearly maybe 30 minutes or 40 minutes or probably an hour for a training session with you on each benefit of Zomeo, on how to use the software, how to navigate. Don't worry if you don't get it in one go. We can have multiple training sessions organized for you as well until you get your hands-on practice onto it. And some queries that you have. Sometimes you're stuck whilst using, you've got a patient in front of you, you're using the software, you don't know what to do. We're one phone call away, and we can definitely help you on how to navigate, my friends. Okay, so remember, Zomeo as a software is a complete package for you. If you want your life to be made easy every single day, use Zomeo. If you want to use the world's best software, the answer to that is Zomeo. Now, if you want to use the world's most economical software, it all boils down to the price, to the cost, doesn't it? I will tell you what the price of this software is. Stay tuned. I'm sizzling the cost of this, okay? And I want to make sure that I give you the best possible discount, okay, for all the people who attended this particular presentation. We have to value. This is my sense. This is Dr. Shah's, vision of expressing gratitude to give you a discount for giving us your time today.
All right, friends. Thank you. And now we will play the demonstration video. Stay tuned. Thank you for your time. Watch this closely, and you can make notes as well as you watch this presentation by Dr. Neha Khodke. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Neha, and I will be taking you through our signature software, Hompath Zomeo. Hompath Zomeo is basically a decision support system for all homeopathic physicians to solve their cases within minutes or seconds. Now, as you know, that when we take a homeopathic case, it takes between 20 to 90 minutes to capture the case history of the patient. In that time, it is essential for the physician to understand the most important or the most characteristic symptoms of the patient, to put them together or collate them together, and to give him the best possible, that is, the most accurate prescription of the homeopathic remedy. If there was or had there been no software, then doing this would have been extremely tedious, extremely difficult, because this would entail going through a lot of books, a lot of symptoms, a lot of indexing, and then finally arriving at the remedy maybe within 1 or 2 hours. But here, that time is severely reduced, and it takes not more than 5 or 7 minutes to arrive at the accurate remedy of the patient. And this is what I'd like to show you using cases that we received at different points in the last year. So let us start with our first case, which is the case of polycystic ovarian syndrome. This is the case of a 29-year-old woman who came to the clinic diagnosed as PCOS, and she complained of abnormal weight gain in the past year. She also complained of various areas of pigmentation all over the body, but especially in the neck region. She had an abnormal craving for sweet foods and could not stay away from them despite the fact that she was rapidly gaining weight. And now let us look at how we solved her case. The case history took about 45 to 50 minutes, and we finally arrived at the core symptoms of this patient, and we'll see how quickly Hompath Zomeo solved this case. So the first thing is that she had polycystic ovaries. So now we look for this particular symptom in the software. Just like we look for something very easily using Control S in our computers, in our laptops, we use the same function in this software as well. So we do a Control S, a dialog box opens, in which now I will put in the keywords that I'm looking for. Essentially, now the software is going to look for these two keywords together in more than 40 books that are present in the software, and they'll give me a collated Google type search result. So let's have a look. we'll go with our first symptom, that is cysts in the ovaries. So I just put ovaries, cysts, and I click enter. And now I get 37 results for ovarian cyst. I will select or check the box of the first symptom that I see because it contains the maximum number of remedies. It contains 63 remedies. All right, so far so good. We now go on to our next symptom, which is discoloration in the neck region. So again, I do a control S and I write neck discoloration. As you can see, it auto suggests the spelling as well. So I click on neck discoloration. I get 4 results, out of which I select the very first one with 123 remedies. Now this is done so that I don't miss out on any homeopathic medicines. Then we have weight gain, and we have, in combination with that weight gain, a desire for sweets. So we combine that as one symptom, again a control S, and I put in obesity, sweets, desire. And here I get 12 results, out of which I again select the first result. My final symptom that I take, because she has gone to a lot of doctors and she's very, very worried about her health and what would be the complications and the consequences in the future, I took the symptom anxiety, health. And this is what I wanted, anxiety, health about. So I select that. So if you see, totally I have selected 4 symptoms. And now I'd like to view all of these 4 symptoms together along with the remedies that cover them. For that, I just have to click on this here in this left black colored tab. And here I get an index. This is the index of the remedies that essentially cover these 4 symptoms. Now, if you see, the 4 symptoms searched in over 40 books from the software have given me a result of more than 400 remedies. And now from these 400 remedies, I need to select just one. So how do I select the best possible or the most accurate remedy out of these 400 remedies that are there on the screen? For this, we have a function called as filters. Just like we use filters on the different online shopping sites to refine our search, we are using filters here to refine our results so that we finally arrive at the best possible remedy. And for that, we have 3 types of filters: the strategy filters, the remedy, and the expert filters. Now I will be using one strategy filter and one remedy filter. I can use a permutation and combination of any number of filters as long as it gives me the most accurate, the most correct remedy. So out of the strategy filters, the most popular filter we have is cross repertorization. In cross symptoms filter, basically we now have to see which are the most important symptoms out of the ones that I have listed, and I will finally get a result of all the remedies that cover all of these 4. So the remedies that are common to all these 4 symptoms that I have taken will now feature. remedy.
Oh, is the video frozen? Okay, let me just check it. Altamash?
Hello.
Yeah, I guess the video is
Yeah,
frozen.
yeah, yeah.
All
It
right.
was internet problem. I'll fix it.
All right. All right. Okay. No worries. Sorry for the inconvenience. Just a minute.
Which we need to decide the remedy. So I will be selecting certain parameters from here. The first I will select is chronic, since this is a chronic disease. This is something that has lasted in her for more than a year. We have a parameter called thermal state. So I'll be selecting her thermal state, which is hot. She's essentially a thirsty person. She drinks a lot of water, so I will be selecting thirsty. And although her appetite is good, she feels full very fast. So I'll be selecting easy satire. So now if you can see, I have selected 4 properties. Okay, and now I click on apply. And now, as you can see, out of 400 remedies, we now have a very definitive result of just 2 remedies. Now, all I need to do is select which remedy among these 2 is perfect. Now, if you can see, all of this has happened in under 2 minutes. And if I had not been talking, if I had just been recording, it would have happened under a minute. Okay, so this is very, very essential. This is very important from a homeopath's point of view. Not just from a homeopath's point of view, it is also very, very important from a patient's point of view, because now I am able to give the best service and the best remedy possible to them. Okay, so now all I need to decide is which among these 2 is the best remedy. Now for that as well, I have an option. We have a lot of literature of the different homeopathic remedies that we have at our disposal to give to our patients. And so what I can do now is compare the notes of both these remedies side by side and then finally select the best remedy for this patient. So for this, I have an option called as compare. So all I do is do a right click and I select add to compare. Again, I do a right click on the name of the other remedy and I select add to compare. And now I just click on compare. So now, if as you can see, I can now compare both the remedies side by side, and I can now decide which is the best remedy for my patient. If you're very curious, we finally gave the remedy lycopodium, this LYC. This is the remedy we gave to the patient, and she was much, much better within 6 months itself. So this is the first case, again a case of PCOS, which is actually an extremely complicated case, a case in which a disease in which you need to tread very carefully. But under 2 minutes, we were able to solve this case very effectively using Hompath Zone. And in the same way, I'd like to show you how we resolved another difficult case. That is a case of learning disorders. So again, learning disorders, one of the commonest diseases that are now seen, conditions rather, we can't call it a disease, one of the commonest conditions that are seen in children. And so we saw a case of learning disorders, and I'm happy to say we really saw wonderful results in this boy. This was an 11-year-old boy who was diagnosed with learning disorder. He had difficulty in understanding words, sentences, difficulty in learning, difficulty in mathematical calculations and applications, and he had it since the age of 7. He came to us when he was 11. That means it was there since 4 years. And because the parents, the teachers were not extremely aware of LD and how common it is now, it was misunderstood that the boy was disinterested in studies, in learning, because he had failed a year as well. And this led to a lot of times when the boy would be punished in school by the teacher or punished at home by the parents. And because of this, it led to a lot of fears in this boy, and especially a fear of sleeping alone. So when we got the case, we then started noting down the most characteristic symptoms, and so this is how we solved his case. So the first symptom that we naturally took was learning difficulty or learning disorder. So I did a control S and I write just learning, and now I get the results. So I took two symptoms out of this. The first, that is learning difficult, and the second, we took from another repertory, mind learning disabilities. These were the two symptoms we recorded. Then, because there was a lot of involvement of punishment, we decided to take on this symptom as well. So we took punishment ailments from aggravates. Then we took, because he had a lot of fears, fear children. So again, fear children in the first rubric or the first symptom. And then, because he had a very specific fear of being alone in bed, of sleeping alone, so we took fear bed alone. And again, we took this symptom. So we have just taken, now if you can see, we've just taken 5 symptoms. All right. Now again, if you can see, we now have 169 remedies. Zeroing in on the correct remedy is extremely essential. And to do that, again, I took the help of the cross filter, in which I wanted to mark the most important symptoms in this case. So the second, the third, because there was a history of punishment, and the fifth, because it was a very specific fear. We took this as the most important symptoms. And now you can see we have arrived at just one remedy from 169 remedies. And the best part is that this remedy covers each and every symptom that we have recorded. So this has to be and had to be the correct remedy for the patient. And we gave this remedy to him, and within a year, his grades improved. He became much better in behavior. His fears began to resolve slowly, and we knew that now this is the absolutely right remedy that we had given to the patient. And again, this happened in under 2 minutes because of Hompath. So this is how quick and how accurate Hompath Zomeo can be in the hands of a homeopathic physician, and can give very targeted, very good results, very accurate prescription for different patients. Apart from the practical applications of Hompath Zomeo with regards to case solving, Hompath is also a treasure trove of information from the point of view of research, from the point of view of theoretical study, from the point of view of content, also from the point of view of acquiring and getting an insight into medicines of another system of medicine like allopathy. So that is why in Hompath Zomeo we also have a lot of reference books. Doctors need to continually upgrade their information, and for that very reason we have more than 400 books in Hompath Zomeo that are there at the click of a button to read. We also have a very interesting section that is called as the allopathic drug data. Now in this we have information of more than 500 allopathic drugs. It's very important for the homeopathic physician to differentiate between the actual symptoms of the patient and the possible side effects that the allopathic medicines may be giving them, that is, the long-term use of allopathic medicines. This is why it is essential for the homeopathic physician to have some knowledge about allopathic or the most common allopathic medicines that are used, which is why we have allopathic drug data. So, for example, a drug like, say, ibuprofen, I look for it and here I get all the information related to ibuprofen, including its indications, including its contraindications, as well as its adverse or side effects. This is how it helps us as homeopathic physicians to understand the difference between the side effects of the allopathic medicines and the actual symptoms of the patient. Then we also have a section called clinical tips. Now, in this section, we basically focus on hardcore clinically verified data in the form of pointers for the homeopathic remedies that are listed here. So in this list, you will not see even one remedy that is unverified, that has not been proved to be effective in the condition that has been given. All of this is extremely verified clinical data after doing a lot of research by the authors who have given us these clinical tips. We also have a section called patient instruction and diet and nutrition. Basically, when patients come, along with the medicines that are given, they also expect something more, some extra care to be taken by the doctor. And this is done in terms of regimen instructions, this is done in terms of diet and nutrition. So if you see, our diet and nutrition contains very specific diet instructions, food related instructions for more than 70 conditions, and this list is being upgraded as well. So for every disease that you see listed here, there are very specific dietary instructions, do's and don'ts that are given, that the physician can print from here and can give to their patient. We also have a section called patient instructions. Now, patient instructions are basically do's and don'ts. Any disease that a patient walks in with seeking treatment, apart from the medicines that we give, it is always sensible and important to issue certain do's and don'ts with relation to that clinical condition, because it does happen, and we have seen that even if we give the right medicine, and this happens in any system of medicine, so to ensure that the patient gets relieved faster, because that is ultimately what he comes for, we have a list of do's and don'ts that are specific to 604 diseases or clinical conditions that can be readily printed and given to the patient. These are some additional functionalities and features that we have included, taking into consideration the requirements of the homeopathic physician, but more from the point of view of patient care, from the point of view of how we can deliver better results, better care, and a better experience for the patients. We are just scraping the iceberg here when I'm explaining just a few features. There is a ton of information in Hompath Zomeo, which is going to take a long time for even homeopathic physicians to discover and to understand and to utilize. But whatever has been put in this software can be practically applied in clinical practice, practically applied to give the patient a very seamless and a very smooth patient experience. Thank you.
All right, friends. That was a wonderful presentation by Dr. Neha. I hope you enjoyed it. You liked it. Thank you for being so patient. And this is my contact information for any queries. The email ID, that's GORDAN, the small correction here. It's GORDAN at homepath.com. And now we can have a comment. Yep.
Lovely. Awesome. So if you want to just stop sharing the presentation.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Thank you. So yeah, thanks for that presentation. It was very engaging. Loved your enthusiasm and your passion. The software itself seems very impressive, quite
Yeah.
comprehensive, yet user-friendly and fairly straightforward.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, great presentation by both yourself and Dr. Neha there. I particularly liked the background traffic noise in India. It took me back to when I was over there. Loved it.
Yeah.
So what we might do now is, if you are watching live, we'll stop the recording in a moment and we'll open it up for questions. And
Yep.
just remember that there will be that draw for a $50 credit. If you're watching the recording, thank you for watching until the end, and learn
Yep.
more with Switch on Health.